This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 633 for December 9th, 2019. Budget Whale.
Not a dolphin.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier. And the Nymph.
I have not had 3 monsters yet.
It's 2.5. We just recorded one of our year-end episodes, so we are a little tired and a little loopy. Apologies, that will affect the show, and the show will probably be a little bit shorter, but we will make it up at the end of the month for some considerably longer episodes.
Yes.
So, let's get into what you've been playing this past week, Mr. Moonpier.
Dude, I mean, come on. At least patreon.com/E1M1, the ones and numbers. Head over there. Sure. Support us for $5 a month to get all the goodies.
Yep.
Make it a Christmas gift for a friend. Support us on their behalf and then give them the link.
That friend is me who needs to afford this show.
Or buy them a t-shirt from our store. Makes great Christmas gifts.
Head over to tvgp.tv. Head over to the right-hand side of the page. All the links are there. Get yourself a nice We Know t-shirt or even the show logo shirt.
Show logo on a bunch of stuff.
Now, what have I been playing, Boston? That is the question.
Dr. Moonpier, marketing manager.
Yes. Okay, start with Apex Legends. Running through that, playing some dailies, doing some goodness on that. Apex Legends is still great. I still enjoy Apex Legends. And in discussions with my wife, we have come up with a new term.
Oh, exciting.
I'm especially exciting because the term is budget whale.
Nice.
Which is actually a real term for that, by the way.
Okay, stop me.
Is it budget whale?
No.
Okay, let me.
I will let you figure.
I'll let you guess what it is. You can tell me the term. Because if it's not as good as budget whale, then it goes straight in the trash.
It's not, but it's also good.
Which is a whale who lives within their budget but supports a game by buying all of the things that they can and want to buy, but not being a true whale. So,
gotcha. They're not breaking the bank.
Yeah, my wife's not going to drop $15,000 on Apex Legends stuff.
Right.
Almost.
Those are super whales, by the way.
Yeah. She is someone who likes the game and supports the game, and when they put out cosmetics that she likes, she will pay the premium currency or the premium price to get those if she can't do it in any other way.
But just to get those specific ones and not like
everything.
$200 for an ancient pack or whatever.
Exactly. So we decided the term budget whale was pretty good because she is a whale who lives within her budget.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the correct term for this, please, Boston?
Dolphin.
Go away. Budget whale is so much better.
Budget whale is way better. So super whale is the one we're really talking about.
The
whales are really budget whales. Dolphin is the one underneath that where it's like you're just buying the battle pass every maybe tossing in a couple bucks. And minnow is right under that where you're spending like $1 once.
At least they're sticking with the nautical themes because I was thinking like something on land, like I don't know, the bear or
I'm a camel.
Yeah.
Budget whale is way better, by the way.
Yeah, I think a camel would be the person who's free to play and hoards all of that free to play currency and then spends it when the one thing they want comes along.
They get all the double XP from their friends.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we've been playing Apex. What a shock. Apex is still great, blah, 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 blah. Moving on, Dead by Daylight. Played some Dead by Friday this week. Guess what? Dead by Daylight has a new killer.
Oh yeah, I saw somebody play him.
Yeah,
and the new Survivor as well.
Yeah, it's Japanese themed. So it's a samurai-looking dude with one of those demon masks on. And he's huge. He's like towers above everybody.
Awesome.
And then his special ability is to go into this blood rage, which makes him run really fast and sets him on fire.
Awesome.
And you can see him from a mile off.
Even better.
It's great.
Does he have a cool name?
He does. I don't know it because he literally came out like 2 days ago.
Okay.
And in our budget well finances, my wife bought it for me, so I still have every single killer and piece of DLC for that game.
I was wondering if it was something like the Undying Samurai or something.
No,
it's cool.
It's like
Owagi or something.
Yeah, it's got the traditional Japanese name.
Oh, like a
game.
proper name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently he's got there's a new map for him and everything, so he's the usual
Wow.
thing. As my wife put it, she put like 300 hours into that game, so she's happy paying $6 every like 5 months or whatever.
Yeah, like that's nothing.
To buy the DLC for a game that I am still playing. And I have got the season pass for it, so we are both supporting the game in our own individual ways.
Yeah. And put money in that tip jar.
Got like 20 killers now, dude.
Nice.
Like 15, but it's still a lot of
the
killers.
Smash Brothers of horror games?
Yes. They need to go deep into the third party, like the third tier.
Master Chief, let's do it.
No. Give me the third
Sorry,
tier.
Zombie Master Chief.
Give me the Jin from Wishmaster, please. That's who I want next.
Yeah, there you go. Candyman, put him in there.
Mm-hmm. There's another one. But yeah, it's Dead by Friday. I played a little bit of it. I'm enjoying it. The season pass challenges are now officially grindy, which kind of goes perfectly in line with that game, to be completely honest. I was checking out my Apex season and I was checking out my Dead by Daylight season, and I was like, I've got to be getting close. Like the Apex one has to be ending soon because I'm like level 60 and I'm not going to hit 100 by the time it says. I've still got like 7 or 8 weeks left on that thing, dude. I'm fine. I'm going to hit 100 at like a breeze.
Mm-hmm.
Dead by Daylight, probably not, but that's fine. Dead by Daylight is a tip jar for them.
Right.
That's fine. Tip jar for them. Play the other game with my wife. That's all fine. And that's all I've got to say about Dead by Daylight for now. You know the routine. My name is Moonpriya. I'm on Xbox Live. Hit me up. Let's play some Dead by Daylight. Now, on to the important stuff. You may now officially call me Moon, the Destroyer of Games.
Is that your Dead by Daylight name?
No, that's my gaming name. Because I beat Gears 5. Gears 5 is a really cool story with a really disappointing ending.
It just kind of stops.
Yes. Sorry to make this reference again so quickly. Not for you listeners. You'll get this reference again in a couple of weeks. It feels like you've got to finish the fight.
Yeah, like it Gears 4's you again.
Mm-hmm. Just give me an ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
This is also one of the games I was playing this week as well, and there was a story prompt that came up talking about how one character previously in the series is now dead, or has been dead, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Carmine?
No.
Carmine, yeah.
The Kenny of the Gears of War series.
Mm-hmm. Right.
No, and I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but when they brought that up, I was like, wait a minute, when did this person die? And apparently I'm not the only one who didn't know this or didn't remember it or whatever, because there are fan videos, forum topics, all pretty much saying the same thing of, when the hell did this happen?
Right.
It wasn't the big moment from Gears 3, was it?
No.
I'm trying to think of who you're talking about.
This was a character that they killed off camera, quote unquote.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So
it wasn't,
they had to deal with government for refertilization.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. Wait. Oh,
yes.
Yep. Okay. I know. Yep. I think I know who you're talking about.
I had the same moment where I was like, I'm sure that happened at some point, and like I knew that, but I don't know that.
It specifically took place between 3 and 4, I believe, because that character is also... Yeah. Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So that was a little
T-Bomb,
weird.
T-Bomb Rocks in chat asks, how many hours to beat? I still need to play the story.
10, 15 if you plow through it on a lower difficulty.
Yeah, 15 max. Like, if you don't do any of the side quests, and the side quests are all really good, so you should, but like 10 hours, like, I mean... Even on normal, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm on beginner, but I think I'm at the end of Act 2.
It sounds like
going into Act 3.
Okay.
You're in the icy place?
Yeah, I just finished that, and I'm moving on to
that's
a different map area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Act 3 is nowhere near as big as Act 2. It's a lot smaller, and then Act 4 is like 4 missions.
It's a lot like Act 1, where it's like, let's just get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they did some interesting things in that. I made my choice at the end. I am happy with my choice. Boston understands that reference.
Yes. It's a weird thing they ask you to choose.
Mm-hmm. Because there's only one choice to make.
I didn't have a hard time choosing because I liked the choice I made, but I could see how someone would choose the other option and be pretty happy with the redemption arc happening.
Okay, so you 100% made the same choice I did. Okay, that's good to know.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a very succinct, non-spoiler way to actually tell me exactly who you chose.
Yes. I thought there was only one choice as well, and I believe I made the right choice, and I am concerned that Gears 6 will not deal with the choice at all.
Do you think they are going to take the other choice out of the game completely and just have it be separated?
I mean, they're like Metal Gear Solid where it's like, this is the canonical choice. I hope you picked it.
That's what I was curious about, is if they are going to choose a canonical choice or if they're going to like just basically take the options out of it completely and have a voiceover line by somebody just saying, oh yeah, this happened.
So I fired up Life is Strange 2. I bought it for super cheap on Black Friday. And the very first question it asks you, I only got to the main menu to make sure that everything downloaded and was patched. Very first question they ask you is, did you play Life is Strange 1? Yes or no? And I clicked yes. And they asked the question, which is basically like, what did you do in the decision at the end? Like, did you do this or did you do that? And then after you choose that, they're like, cool, thanks. I was like, oh, that was it? Okay, cool. Like, I wonder if they're going to do that with Gears 6. Like, did you do this choice or this choice? Okay, cool.
I also gave escape mode a couple of tries. Boy, do I need some people to play that with. Everybody hit me up on Xbox, please, because escape mode looks like it might be a little bit Left 4 Dead-ish in the Gears of War universe while you're trying to escape this hive thing with the gas encroaching from behind and monsters encroaching from the front. I played like 2 rounds and it looks like it's going to be super fun if we can get a decent team together.
I still have it installed, so I'll have to make sure I have it patched.
That's the one mode that you can build and make your own labyrinth or whatever, right?
I think you can.
A different mode?
No, you can do that on that too. I don't know how to do that yet because I literally jumped in to just try and get a handle on it because I want to put some time into the alternate modes in Gears to see if that takes it higher or lower on my Game of the Year list without spoiling anything.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to join the list, if it's going to go lower in the list, or if it's going to go higher in the list. Good luck figuring out if it's on my list right now, punks. You just don't know.
You don't know because I don't know.
Yes, exactly. But, I mean, it seems like it's going to be fun. And they have the whole card system in it again for, like, skills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually okay with because it feels like it's a reward for playing the game. I'm sure because the menus in this game are so confusing in places. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could go and drop $5,000 and get everyone a bunch of cards, and that would be great. I don't know how to do that because I barely understand how to do anything in that game.
I went into the DLC store when it launched, and I don't even know how to buy stuff.
You can't.
There's just stuff everywhere.
There is no DLC in the game. But
like the cosmetic stuff, where I'm like looking at like weapon skins. I'm a sucker for weapon skins. So I'm like, this looks cool.
You have to craft them, but to craft them you need iron, and you get iron by recycling duplicates and stuff like that. Or you can pay for iron, and iron is the premium currency in the game.
Okay, maybe that was my confusion, where it's like, how much is, if I wanted this gun skin, this Lancer skin, how many human dollars would this cost me?
It does what all of them do, and it gives you the obfuscation layer between...
Right.
This is 5,000 of the premium currency, it costs $20 kind of thing.
or 200 platinum, or yeah.
So it does that whole thing. I'm interested in Horde. I desperately want to play as Jack. If you still have the game installed, I need to jump into your game at some point and play as Jack for a sweet Chivo.
Oh, okay.
Like,
hit me up.
The game is gorgeous. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Start to finish. There was one section of the game that ran sub 60.
Okay.
It was a section near the end, so I can't exactly say a whole bunch.
The end has a lot of stuff going on, like a lot of really big set pieces in big areas.
I don't feel like it ends as good as 4 ended. Because Gears 4 had this thing where it had that incredible mission at the end where you're controlling the big things.
Yep.
And then it feels like number 4 had a conclusion, and here is the teaser for the next game.
Right.
Whereas this game feels like here is an ending that's not a conclusion to the story. It's just a straight up teaser for the next game.
We explained some stuff, but not a lot of answers. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Gears 5 is weird.
I liked it a lot. I definitely agree with you that there are some sort of foundational problems and some storytelling stuff, but as we're getting closer to choosing and crafting our top 10 list, I keep thinking back on it fondly, where it's like, I had a lot of fun with Gears 5. Like, I was happy to play another Gears game.
Even playing it single player, and I like to play the campaigns multiplayer. I think my wife is pretty much done with Gears at this point. Like, she tried out 4 and she didn't really feel it. So,
yeah.
Like, I've played the whole thing by myself and, like, it was fun. Now I just need people to play Horde with. Now I need to play Escape with some people. Let's do some running around and some pew-pew-pewing and so on and so forth. And the next reason you can call me the destroyer of games is because I also beat Death Stranding this week, folks.
Jesus. Now, that is really impressive.
So, Boston, you can tell me, because I texted you literally after the show last week, I think it was, about a really dumb moment, and I basically said, F this game.
You said, like, I can see this thing coming, and it's not going to be great, huh? And I was like, nope. Yeah.
So, yeah, I did that, and then I did the entire rest of the game.
Yep.
I played a lot of Death Stranding this week, folks.
What was your final time? Do you remember?
I have no idea. It was probably like 25, maybe 30 hours, because as soon as I got those power legs, I literally power walked my way to the end of the game. Like, I don't care. I'm going to take advantage.
Did you get the all-terrain legs?
I did. They are cool. I wasn't grinding stars just so I could get better ones of them for the snow.
I still don't have like a level 2 of the all-terrain. So I just like been rocking the level 1 where it's like, whatever, I'm running up this snowy mountain. Yeah.
Oh, so much to talk about in that game. So much to say.
It's a ride.
And it does the Kojima thing. It flat out does the Kojima thing where it gives you 3 hours of cutscene at the back end of it trying to explain all of the bonkersness that's gone before it.
Dear listeners, that's not an exaggeration. Like, there are points where you can walk around and it's clearly like, this is your time to save because you're going to walk 50 feet and there's going to be more cutscenes. So, like, if you got to pee, do it right now. If you're hungry, like, get it done.
Grab your bread, your meats, your cheeses, and sit down with a nice glass of Chardonnay. And
enjoy whatever's happening in this game.
I can't remember. Okay, so I did the phrasing of this one. I did the tar mission.
Oh, okay.
Where you have to get across the tar.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Like story mission. Yeah.
I did that, and then I got to a point.
Cool scene.
Yeah. It's a really cool scene. I got to the next not whatever control point thing.
Your next destination.
Yeah. I got to that place. I got in. I got the cutscene. It told me to go and rest because this is the final journey or whatever, and so on and so forth.
Stuff's gonna happen.
And I looked at my map, and then I looked at the clock, and it was 11 o'clock. Now, for those of you who don't know, my hard and fast rule is it's 11 o'clock. Everything gets switched off. I wind down just so I can try and get some rest. Even if I don't end up sleeping, I can try and get some sleep. I thought to myself, I'm going to be the bigger man here, and I'm going to save the game here and turn the console off and not play this last mission because it's probably like an hour of cutscene.
Yes. I did the same thing where it's like, this has to be the ending. I will take a break here, and when I'll get up early one day and I'll just knock it out then.
Mm-hmm.
We're fools.
I came home the next day. I started playing the game at 6 p.m. I didn't finish the game until 12:30 p.m. or 12:30 a.m. I should say. It was like 4 hours of complete insanity cutscenes, and then the stupidest thing in the game, period, after that whole cutscene stuff, and you've got to do the thing. It's just, I wanted to punch some stuff when I was done with that.
I cannot wait to do a spoiler cast together. I do have to say, there is a performance from one character at the very end of that game that I think is one of the best voice acting and performance capture performances I have ever seen put in a video game.
It's only going to be one of two people. It's going to be either Fragile or it's going to be... Higgs. No,
neither one of them. The very, 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 very ending. There's someone who sort of breaks down and
okay, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
An incredible performance, just like one of those things where it's like, wow, I wasn't sure if this was performance capture up until this point, and yes, it is, and this is something.
The thing that sells that moment as well is the camera work. Because it doesn't do the game thing of zooming out and seeing everything. It just keeps the same focus level and pans with the character.
Yep.
That's really solid work. Kojima, go direct movies. Stop making video games, please. You're insane.
That's already his plan. He's already announced that he's going to do that.
I know. I can't wait for the 15-hour movie that makes $0 because everybody dies while they're watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
The first
intermission 4.
Yeah, I was say first movie to bring back intermissions.
Yeah.
I'm going to repeat what I said last week about Death Stranding, which is, I don't know.
Yes.
Like, I think...
I wish they had cut out so much of the story at the end that wasn't about Sam bringing the country back together. There's so much there that just feels like Kojima read a couple of books that all dealt with this topic, and he's so fascinated by it, but like tying this stuff together into what you're doing just felt so much like, here's the storyline. I love this cool stuff that we're just gonna wedge right in the story.
No. We discussed this before. He does it the other way. He's like, here is the cool stuff, write a story around it.
Right.
Like, that feels like the Kojima way. There's a dude on fire and a giant space whale that's on fire chasing you down a mountain. Write something about that.
Right. Can you make a game around that? And it's a Metal Gear game.
Yes.
Sure thing, boss.
I think the thing is, I think you put the nail on the head. Like, it's him finding a topic that he is very interested in.
It's like going down a Wikipedia hole where you're like, that is interesting. Oh, there's something about this guy. Oh, that's interesting. He did this thing.
Except that Wikipedia hole then also includes a man's insanity right in there with it. Like,
and a $200 million budget.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 1 is all about the military-industrial complex and so on and so forth, and Hollywood movies, and then Metal Gear Solid 2 is all about digital learning and control of people.
Nuclear proliferation.
It's just like, dude is obsessed with these little things, and then he makes huge games out of them, and then adds his own twist of bonkers into it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see him as like a guy working behind a bar coming up with cocktails, because you know he would make some stupid stuff.
This is the Metal Gear Rex, and it's still on fire when you're drinking it.
Exactly. It's like, you have to consume the fire as you do, and otherwise it just doesn't taste right.
The flames rebirth you, and it's like, calm down, it's a drink. What did you think of Troy Baker's scene chewing?
He
goes for it.
Absolutely nails it. Like, he is a bad guy in the way that the bad guys should be bad guys sometimes.
Like twisting his mustache the whole game, like
yeah. You've got to use wrestling terminology here, you've got the different levels of heels. You've got the cowardly heel who like does dirty little tricks and stuff like that. That's the Revolver Ocelot of the world kind of thing.
Right.
Then you've got the brash heel who thinks he's the best thing ever on the face of the planet. That's your Liquid Snakes of the world.
Right. Brother.
And then you've got the people who just know that they are 100% correct in their opinion. Like,
it's just a guy with a gun.
The best bad guys are the people who have 100% conviction in what they believe.
Right. And they sort of know they're doing evil stuff,
but
and
they
they're
don't
okay
care
with it.
Because that's the means to
they have a goal
for them.
Yeah.
And he nails that, but he also throws in that black and white movies thing of like, I'm
tied to the rain tracks.
Like, he's doing that the whole time, and he nails it. I love the fact that he constantly references himself as the particle in everything in the world. It's just like,
it's
great.
Like, I get it, man. That's your name. Like, I get it.
You need to
I
knock
appreciate
it off, please.
Yeah. Troy Baker is good in a lot of stuff, and I feel like Troy Baker like turned in a Nicolas Cage performance where it's like, I need you to go for it.
Perfect. That is the perfect description. It's Nicolas Cage in Con Air, where he is hamming it up like crazy, and he's loving every second of it.
Yep.
The big thing for me, and it's something that happens a lot with Kojima games, I think Patrick Klepek, when he was on his hardcore horror games kick, he talked about twists. Like,
right.
He had this huge article, and it was really well written and really well thought out, how basically the best twists are the twists that have hints leading to the twist. Like you sense that something's coming, something's not right. You don't even have to sense it, but if the hints are there, a twist can be really good. So let's use the king of American twists, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes.
The Happening is a terrible twist because there is no hints at all that it's the plants' fault. Gotcha. The Village is a terrible twist because there are no hints at all that it's just modern day. Right. Sixth Sense and Unbreakable are incredible twists because there are little bits and pieces throughout the entire movie from start to finish that give you the hints that something else might be going on there. Right. And
Something's a little off.
Even does the montage at the back end of it, and so does Sixth Sense. It does that little montage where it flashes back through the movie and shows you where these little hints are. Like Unbreakable, he's never taken a day off sick from work. He only has one thing that he's weak to, and that's drowning because he doesn't like water. And it goes back and it shows you the little bits and pieces as it goes through. That's a good twist because there's something that logically you can work out by the end. The bad twist...
It's the ending of a Telltale episode. Here's your choices.
Yeah. The bad...
Go ahead. I was going to say, even with like a BioShock, they didn't do like the whole flashback thing. But once you found out what the twist was, my mind did that whole backflash thing of, oh, wow, no, they have been doing this the entire time.
They've been hammering it in. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, that's a great twist.
Yeah.
Death Stranding has the bad twist. Where it's just, you get to that end, you get to that final 4 hours of cutscenes and minimal gameplay, and it's just like, oh, by the way, here is an explanation for everything that's happening, and it's completely bonkers.
Yeah, and it's sort of like, I get what you're trying to do, like you're tying up all the loose ends here, no pun intended, but like, I get what you're getting at, but I think the hardest part for me, I really love Death Stranding. I really didn't care about a lot of the ending. Like I genuinely did not care. There was flashes of stuff where it's like, oh cool, you're tying up this storyline. Now this stuff makes more sense. That's really cool. All right, we're showing stuff that happened after all this stuff. That's cool. Like I really like how you're reconciling this stuff. There's just this big chunk that is not great.
Like, without spoilers, I cared about the Mads Mikkelsen story.
100%.
That was the most interesting part of that game to me.
Yep. I care about BB a lot.
Yes. I made fun of you when I first started playing that game, being like, "Oh, BB's so great," and by the end, I was like, "BB's so great,
my baby."
I cared about Fragile because
yes,
that lady also acted the crap out of that game. Like,
yep,
she is incredible throughout the whole game, especially when you learn her backstory.
Yep,
she's fragile. Sorry, she's fragile. She's not that fragile.
Right.
Shut up. Those two characters I cared about. I couldn't care less about Amelie or the commander
Dead
director,
man.
what's his face, or
Heartman.
I don't care about
Who
any
sucks.
the weird guy. Okay, Die Hard Man. I was meh.
He's fine. He's the tutorial guy. Like, someone made fun of him on Twitter where it's like, "Hi, I'm the tutorial guy," and he wrote back and he's like, "That was what Kojima hired me to do." It's like, fair enough. You did that role well.
Like, he was kind of Dead Man. I was like, it's funny that you look like Guillermo del Toro, and the voice acting kind of matches the look, to be honest, which I thought was cool.
Yep.
But kind of at the same time about his story.
Yeah.
Heart Man.
Yes.
Immediately took me back to stupid Sean from stupid Assassin's Creed 2 doing the stupid posh English voiceovers for the stupid codex things, and I wanted to punch him in the face.
He talks so much.
He talks so
won't
much
stop.
because he's part of the 4 hours at the end of the bloody game where you just get told millions of bits of information, and then he keeps on going ka-chunk and then giving you 20 likes. It's like, I don't care. Oh, I'm sorry, I got the question wrong. Ka-chunk, 20 dislikes. Go away.
I did like that there was like one Kojima fourth wall breaking where this guy just gives you 20 likes in a cutscene. It's like, okay.
Dude, he gives you like
I could do it
60
less.
over the course of that cutscene. He's like, cha-chunk, cha-chunk, cha-chunk. He's like a slot
I'll take the
machine
free one.
where you
Gets
just
me to a
pull
trophy.
it.
Yeah. Yep.
So, in summation, Death Stranding, I don't know.
Yeah. I can say it's a game I confidently really like playing. I liked the intro. I liked a lot of the little story stuff they give you throughout the game. Like, they sprinkle it up until like chapter 9. And then the last 5 chapters go off the rails. And then I feel like it concludes actually fairly well. There's just this big chunk that I cannot spoil, and I just don't like. I just flat out do not like and do not care about.
Yeah. And is that everything to do with Amelie by any chance?
100%.
Yeah, okay. So it's pretty much the same as me then.
Yeah, I just there's so many terms, and there's so many cutscenes, and there's so much stuff I don't care about. It looks beautiful, and I don't care about it.
They do so much that I hate in video games in that end as well, where it gives you control and then it forces you to do something to go to the next point. It's like, stop it with this BS.
Just show me the cutscene.
Show me the next cutscene.
I could pause the cutscenes. Just keep going. Yeah.
And they do that.
But I really like Death Stranding.
They literally do that because they've shown the credits. So all I would do is I would sit there.
The first credits.
Yes. I would sit there and I would stand there until all of the stupid names vanished. I wouldn't move until he went, huh. And then when he went, huh, I took 3 steps, and then the next cutscene started.
Right.
And then when the cutscene was done, and he came back, I would leave him standing there while the text came on the screen. And then when he went, huh,
I was looking at Twitter during those points, where it's like, I know if I just am wasting my time running around here.
I didn't even run. I literally stood still because that's all it was doing was spending time getting those things. Look at how beautiful this is. Look at how great it is. Cool. I've seen it all, and this is the 10th cutscene in 4
I've seen
seconds.
Scotland.
I really like Death Stranding, and I don't know how I feel.
I really like playing Death Stranding, like the delivery part of it, and connecting the chiral network, and like delivering packages to preppers, and building a zipline network. Like the actual playing of the game is really good, and it's really engaging, and a good 75% of those cutscenes are really great. There's just like 2 hours that I just... Yeah. I don't know. I've already put it in my top 10, and I feel confident about it.
2019's best I don't know game.
New category. 2019's best I don't know.
It's in my top 10. Like, it is...
Yeah, me too.
It is in my top 10, but... I don't
with an
know.
asterisk. Yeah, it's in your top 10 with an asterisk.
I don't know where it goes. Like, I think I have them in the order I want them in now. But every time I look at it, I feel like it's too high. But then I move it, and it feels like it's too low.
Yeah. I still, to wrap up my feelings about Death Stranding, because we do have to do a spoiler cast, because obviously we have some things to talk about spoilery-wise.
Nim, please play this over the next week because we need somebody else.
God, no, I don't want to punish someone doing it over a week. But like,
so I've got other games I got to try to catch up on first.
Yeah, I really do think that if you can go into Death Stranding with an open mind, if you don't already hate it for whatever reason, I think it's a game you should try because it's like when Metal Gear Solid 1 came out. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to sneak? Oh, it's not a shooter. It's
a tactical espionage action game.
Right. It's like, okay, cool. Like, now I get it. All right, this is like a different type of game. The stuff he's trying to do, he and his team are trying to do in Death Stranding is just so different from the AAA games you play, and it's trying to tell such a different story. And I think it is genuinely worth experiencing.
The gameplay is worth experiencing. The story is a whole different ballgame.
I think the story is worth experiencing whether you like it or not. It sure is a journey that I don't think is that entirely successful.
Was that pun intended, by the way?
Yes. The Chiral Network. It's Sam, it's me, Die Hardman. But like, I think it definitely like something to experience like great Kojima games are. Mm-hmm. But like great Kojima games are, it's definitely going to be divisive.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Nymph, over to you.
All right, Nymph, how about you? How are you going to follow that up?
Take back the sanity.
Yeah.
All right. So the first game that I played was Rocket League.
Yeah.
My son and I were checking out the update that they pushed forward. This is the one where they were getting rid of loot boxes and switching over to blueprints now.
Right.
You still need the keys that you were using for the loot boxes to unlock the blueprint. It's just now the blueprint represents an item instead of a list of items that you could potentially get.
Mm-hmm. So you're just saying X number of keys will unlock this specific item that I want to buy.
I think it's still just one key, one blueprint.
Okay.
The only real issue that I have with the game, and it seems everybody online also has this issue, is the pricing in the store that they have now. Because they have a new, I believe it's new, a new currency, premium currency that you can buy.
Of course they do.
The problem is that everything is outrageously expensive in this game, in the shop.
Gotcha.
For you to buy a new vehicle, the game is still $20. So, I mean, it's not like you're buying a $69 game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But it's still not free.
Correct.
Right.
To buy a new vehicle with the premium currency, I think I figured it was about $15 to $16 for just the vehicle, nothing else.
Okay. That's I feel like in like Apex Legends or something like that where you're buying a whole different character, $15 seems fair, but for a skin?
Also, Apex is free.
Yeah, and like that's part of the point. Like,
and that's the other, I guess, kind of issue that I have with it is that yes, it's a different type of car, but there's not a wide enough difference between cars. It's not like you're buying a brand new character.
It's essentially a skin.
There's basically like three shapes. There is the thin and narrow bat-like, there's the big box trucks, and then there's the one that are in between.
Yeah.
Okay.
And depending on which one you choose, some of them go faster, some of them don't, but that's because they're heavier and they blow up the other cars no problem kind of thing. So that's kind of weird, but then when you start looking at other things like tires are like $10 to get a new set of tires.
Woof.
They literally changed nothing.
Yeah, right. The decals that you can get for the vehicles actually aren't that bad. Those are about $1.
That seems fair.
Yeah, and if everything was in the range of $1 to $5,
yeah,
okay, fine, whatever.
You can drop some cash on there, sure.
Yeah, I'm not rebuying the game for one vehicle kind of thing.
Right, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
But other than that, though, I mean, this is just cosmetics.
Right.
This is just me complaining about it. This doesn't affect how the game plays. This isn't going to make me any better. Because if they had a cheat for that, I would probably pay more than $20. No.
Right.
No.
Let me tell you about how great I started playing the second I got the Back to the Future car and just started going everywhere with my wheels tucked.
There you go.
Well, yeah, but you weren't hitting the ball, so...
True.
Well, that's a different cheat.
So, yeah. So...
Oh, no.
It's still fun. My son and I are still playing it. We're still having fun. My son wanted to buy the season pass with his allowance, and I was like, let's kind of hold off for a little bit just to see how this store stuff turns out, because...
real quick pause. We may have lost Boston, which makes this hilarious. Nope, there we go.
No, there we go. He's not back.
Hi. Welcome back, everyone. For some reason, my internet just decided to die.
Yay!
That's fun.
It's funny, because I just thought you were making a weird lean back pose for...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, just relaxing, you know.
Hitting that Tumblr likes.
Yeah, now I can't seem to stay connected to the internet, so...
Great!
Let's switch this again real quick.
So we'll talk for a little while of Riff. Let me just make a
Sorry
note
for everyone,
just in case he does want to edit this out.
Try and cut this out around 45 minutes.
Ish.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
So, next game that I played, Gears 5, we already talked about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Besides finding out that apparently one character is dead. I also didn't really... So, JD feels like the fall man in the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I don't exactly understand why they made him the fall man.
I can tell you exactly
what he's really falling for.
Yeah. They tell you later.
Yeah,
Is it later? Okay.
Yeah. You'll find out the kind of thing he gets blamed for is something something he did. But specifically, I think the reason why they took a hardcore JD is the bad guy kind of approach is because everybody, the vocal minority, really complained about him in Gears 4. Really complained because he wasn't Marcus Phoenix.
Right.
Well, it's because they went hardcore with his character change, where all of a sudden he's bald, got a goatee, has a scar, and he looks like a villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, what
Act 1 was rough on you, dude.
Yeah, what's going on with this turnabout, man?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
the end of Act 1 was pretty tough. He made some bad choices.
Yep.
He did, but
yeah.
I mean,
there's also some other backstory stuff there, like why Dell is being really weird to JD. They explain some of that stuff, I think, in Act 3.
Okay, which is the act that I just got into. So, it's just all of a sudden there's just a lot of character changes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not necessarily that the characters have been changed, but personality swaps, basically.
Yeah.
Where everybody who was fine in the last game and up until this point in this game, it's all of a sudden everyone just started taking meds and now stuff's not right.
Let me tell you, I kind of like Foz by the end of that game, and that is shocking based off the start of the game.
I was wondering if that was the direction this was going to go in, because he's the biggest D-bag to start, and where I'm at now, he's almost normal.
Yeah, he's all right.
This isn't right.
Yeah.
So after that, I played some more No Man's Sky 2. Or not 2. No Man... God, I cannot talk. No Man's Sky. There we go. The last time that I played this was when they did the power scaling update in version 1.9.
Right. Foundation or whatever.
Yeah. They are currently on update 2.21 or something like that.
They just put out another huge update, yeah.
Yes. And my son had randomly come up to me and said that he wanted to play that again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fine. Eventually, I would have to come back to this.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't looking forward to it, and I was putting it off because there's a lot of work. Because it literally took me from being Space Age to Stone Age.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was not great.
Yeah.
So 5 hours into this game, I finally have full access to my base now.
There you go.
Yeah, I had
Congratulations.
I had to fly to a planet that wasn't going to kill me just for standing in the environment.
Oh, like the planet I started the game on. Thank you, No Man's Sky.
Which, luckily, there was one in my system, because everything else on the planet, it is either too hot, it's irradiated, or it's a miasma.
Right.
And then I have this one tropical planet.
There you go.
So that's the one I went to. I had portals and bases on all of these of some sort. So I basically just started from scratch on the tropical planet. And all I was doing was trying to build up materials because I was looking for the prints, so that way I could start making solar panels, which would let me start harvesting infinite energy.
Right.
But then I also need batteries, so that way when the sun goes down, I am storing energy, so that way the things that I have hooked up to this can still run at night. Luckily, the day-night cycles, I think they're only like 16 to 20 minutes or something like that. It may be planet dependent, I don't know.
Yeah.
But my main one, it's only about like 16-minute cycle.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. But so I got all this energy. I tested out a bunch of random crap before I went back to my main base. I now have 2 out of my 15 portals back up. And these 2 portals are the important ones, my main base portal and the other planet that I had my resources on, so that way I can go back and forth between farming.
Right.
I found out that they did fix the automatic miner issue where after you had mined something once from a mineral deposit, it would just change it to copper ore no matter what. Like the deposit would still be like uranium, but it would only mine copper for some reason. They fixed that, which is funny because I'd been complaining about it screwing me in the past. Well, this time it screwed me because I needed that copper because all of my copper was stuck in the storage bins that I couldn't get into. But yeah.
No Man's Sky updates.
So
winning.
It's now that I have my energy, I have my base back. I have to finish supplying energy to the rest of my base, but I have all of my storage lockers unlocked now. Everything has power there. They increased the capacity of those because it used to just be 5 slots. Now they're at 20, and they're all high capacity. So I've got all this room. I actually have a picture I was going to throw up on Twitter. I've got this one solar panel hooked up to 10 of these storage units. And it looks like something I would see in a wood shop where it's like too many wires going into one thing.
Right. It's like this cannot be legal.
Yeah. So I've got all that. I'm finally back up to the point where I was just about. I got to finish getting these portals up to my other bases and then go to my son and set his up because he's kind of been going off of my stuff. Guess what? My son's been dependent on me on this game. So I'm going to go to his base and set him up with a generator and all that stuff. That way he can start using his portal as well.
Right.
But he is technically further along than I am. I've just been doing more of the farming and logistical stuff than he has.
Right.
I've been smart about it. He's just like, oh, there's a thing here. Let's go. And yeah. So it's coming around. I'm liking the game again. It took the 5-hour hump of me hating the game to get back into liking it again.
Feel like that's No Man's Sky.
Yep. So, I don't even know where my carrier is right now, and I don't want to get into that mess.
I think you can summon it to your location when you're up in space.
You can, as long as it has fuel.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Goodbye forever.
No, I'm going to hunt it back down. I just got to remember where I left it.
Yeah.
Space is a big place, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
So, my last game, speaking of space, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I believe I am on the final planet now.
Okay.
I've spent a lot of time on Kashyyyk. I've earned... at least my character has said that he is back up to where he was before the Purge, which was him being a Padawan. So he's not quite a Jedi yet, but I feel powerful until I moved on to the next area, and the game reminded me what settings I have this game on.
Right.
Which I knew was going to happen because I've leveled up, or not leveled up, but I've put enough points on my skills where I feel like I can hold my own. I feel like I can make a decent amount of mistakes before, I screw myself. I now have the double-edged or double-ended lightsaber.
Dope.
Which is pretty sweet because you can switch back and forth between having just the one blade or two. Whatever. Yeah, it's
So
pretty
it's
sweet.
Is it the Darth Maul model where he comes
It
out
is.
and he's holding it like one, and then he presses the button? It's like, now I got 2 punks.
He's depending on what stance you're in, because all you have to do is hit left on the D-pad for it to go into single, right on the D-pad for it to go into double. When he pulls out his lightsaber and he's in single and you hit right, he'll flick it so that the bottom one ignites, and then he'll twirl it. If he's running, he does like the full-on Darth Maul run where he's running and all of a sudden that thing is just twirling all over the place as you're running.
Cool.
I mean, they put a lot of time and effort in how he handles that lightsaber, and it looks really sweet. But I have enough skills and stuff where I can make enough mistakes to learn bosses and all that stuff, which really helped out because the last boss that I just fought was a major pain in the butt.
Was that a frog by any chance?
No, I did kill the frog finally. I went back and killed him good.
Right.
No, this is so eventually you end up fighting the sisters, not the Night Sisters, but the Ninth Sisters or whatever,
right.
the fallen Jedis or whatever they want to call them, the Hunters, the Inquisitors. I've fought one of them, and it was a tough fight because 1, they also have a lightsaber. 2, they are using force powers against you. And 3, it has the Dark Soul issue of the boss is always able to find you in the middle of their attack. And what I mean by this is that I was able to slow them down using, basically it's like force slow or whatever. No matter where I moved, they're still facing me. Like they're following me as I'm dodging around and looking.
Right.
So that's kind of stupid because it doesn't last that long to begin with. So if they're always facing you, then what was the point of having it in this game?
Right.
The other issue when you're not slowing them is that they also suffer from the fact that they can pivot for like no real reason. And you'll find that a lot in Dark Souls games as well, where you think you're behind a boss and all of a sudden they just turn around and hit you.
Right.
And they're like pretty big and lumbering, except for this one time where they just rubber band to you.
Right.
So there's a lot of that. And there was a couple issues where they do this charge attack where you have to dodge it. And I had it where, general running video game crap where they run at you, you dodge, and they run into something, and then they're stunned.
Yeah.
The problem with this one was that this boss hit the wall at an angle, so they didn't dead stop. They just kind of kept riding the wall as they were charging and managed to turn around and come back at me while still doing the same charge.
Oh.
It's like, dude, what is this crap?
It broke all the way.
Yeah, so it suffers from a lot of that, where some of the fights feel unfair because of that.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. I'm really liking it. Hopefully
Nice.
This is the last planet, because as much as I am enjoying it, I would like it to end so I can move on to something else.
Right.
Not because I'm not enjoying the game, but because I have other games.
You're ready to move on, yeah.
Yeah, but the story feels like it's at that point where it's doing the wrap-up, where you're getting that info dump kind of to catch you up on what happened before, what's happening now, and you're kind of pulling together what's going to be happening in the future, kind of.
Right.
So you learn a lot about your mentor as well. It's a lot of fun. I am really liking it, and I am not going to play this on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
Because playing it on the difficulty I'm on now, which is just the one below the hardest, is good enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a sadistic.
You cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably enjoy it. I'll listen to you swear at it all day, but but that is all that I've been playing. What have you been up to, Boston?
Just 3 quick things. I finished Outer Worlds. I finished this game a lot cooler than I started.
Yeah, I saw you tweet about this.
Yeah, I think there's 2 things, and I think the length of Monarch was a problem, and I think we talked about this a lot on Pup yesterday because all 3 of us had played it. I don't think Monarch's length by itself is inherently an issue. I think the game giving you pretty much all of the companion quests at the same time while you're doing Monarch makes all of that feel about 3 times as long, because you want to see all the companion stuff because it's all really good. But especially on my aging launch Xbox One, moving even from planet to the interior of my ship takes a considerable amount of time. And then for someone to say like, oh, I just needed to go to this place to talk to someone, back to this other planet, it's like, well, that's that's not an inconsequential amount of time.
Or back to the planet that you just came up from because you thought you were done.
Right.
2 things. Number 1, even on the X, load time's not spectacular. Okay, but not spectacular. And let me tell you about playing that game with no fast travel.
Yeah, that sounds real rough. Yeah. The end of the game went by super fast. Mm-hmm. I only fought 1 boss throughout the last 2 or 3 planets because I min-maxed. I minimized weapon damage to nothing, 7, 8, 10, and I maximized speech and speeching. Yeah, I'm very good at that. Mm-hmm. And science and hacking and all that stuff. So I kind of talked my way out of every encounter in the end until 1 you have to fight, because there's one choice where it's lie at 100 or science at 80 and heavy weapons at 55 and something other at 25. It's I will attack you. I don't have any of that, which is fine. That's okay. I was pretty happy with how the game ended, but I was really pretty excited to be done with it. I think Outer Worlds is a really great game that I started out 100% excited to play, and I finished 100% not excited to keep playing it. And that's not Outer Worlds' fault. That's just me not being in the mood for it anymore. And I still think it's a game I recommend, especially if you like something like the Mass Effect games, the Dragon Age games. It feels very much in that lineage. It's just, it is an Obsidian game, so you're going to have to live with the decisions you make. And I think that's a good thing, but it was occasionally a frustrating thing.
I think, to steal the words from the biggest threat on the planet, Jeff Gerstmann, I think he actually put this really, really well in one of the more recent bombcasts. He said he was talking about the diamond, which is the diamond of these choice story games where you have a starting point. When you get to the middle of the game, the diamond is at its widest and you have the most options and the most choices to go. And then when you get to the end of the game, you see the point come in and you see it basically all of the choices lead to the ending.
Right.
This game, it shows that point so early. It's okay, well, that's clearly the end of the game right there. And you can visibly see all of the choices coming back in towards that ending.
Right. I have this one thing to do that I know in the first 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the good example for the Mass Effect games is the reason why 2 is probably the most fondly looked upon of them is because that is, of the trilogy, when the diamond is at its widest.
Yes.
Mass Effect 1, you see the choices going out and you get the end of the story, but then Mass Effect 2, those choices are wide open. And then Mass Effect 3 is probably the least liked because that's all of those choices coming back together for an ending. And whether you like it or not, there isn't going to be 50,000 endings for each of the 50,000 choices that you make.
Right.
There is going to be one ending with about 4 or 5 different little cutscenes.
Right.
And this game feels like you see how those choices are going to come together, and you see that before the actual ending.
Yeah. And I think for me, that's okay, because I was shaping my path towards the eventual goal. It's you have this beginning where you wake up and the dude tells you, we need to do this thing, go achieve it, and in whatever means you want. And I think that's what Obsidian does really well. And you're right, it does have one goal, it has one ending, and how you get there matters. I did really like the sort of pre-credits thing where it sort of shows you the wrap up of all the stuff.
Yes, the Animal House ending where it's like, here are the
100%.
choices that you made, here is where everybody
Here's what happened to this planet because of what you did. Like, I liked that. I liked wrapping up all that stuff. I'd like Outer Worlds, and I think my problems with it are largely personal. I should have just wrapped it up while I was playing it, and I probably would have felt a lot more... I personally would have felt a lot more warm about it, but I liked it in the end. Like, it's a great... It's going to be in my top 10 list somewhere, and whenever the hell I figure that out. But, you know, it's an Obsidian game. They made a Mass Effect Dragon Age game on a smaller budget, on a smaller scale, and I think it worked really well. And I think Obsidian made a game with a reasonable budget in a reasonable time frame with no bugs.
Limited bugs.
No major, huge, the game is broken sort of bugs like Obsidian usually has. There was
2.
Okay.
So
did you run into them?
I didn't, but a lot of people did, so I'm just going to say limited bugs.
Okay. So much less bugs than they usually have. And I'm
just going to say I didn't start a side quest or a main quest and couldn't finish it because the NPC wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or the NPC I got there and an unkillable NPC is just dead. And it's just like, cool, okay. So I think Obsidian deserves a lot of credit for
100%.
For that, like getting out at the best game. We talked a lot about Remedy needing a win, and Control was their win this year very clearly. Obsidian also very badly needed a win, and The Outer Worlds is Obsidian's win this year. Like, two of our favorite companies got a solid win.
Yeah, and you also have to take into account with this that, yes, Obsidian is now a Microsoft Game Studios studio. Right. The majority of this game was made before that happened.
Yeah, it's a private
division.
What was it? Private division. Yeah, that Take-Two or 2K, whichever one it is. Yeah, you're right. Like, they were not yet. They were a Microsoft company, an Xbox company. Sorry, for some of it, but not the majority. So we'll see what they come up with next. I mean, I'm excited for this new trajectory.
Give Obsidian a Fable, you cowards.
Oh my god, yeah, maybe we could have a good Fable game. That'd be great.
Or Alpha Protocol 2, whatever.
I would almost like to see what they... And now you've put that Fable seed in my mind. Like, I would like to see what they would do with a Fable game.
If it's a Fable game, if I've put that seed in your mind now, in 10 years' time, that seed will have grown into a tree that you can go and you can gather fruit from.
Yep. Jesus. Played more Fortnite.
Victory Royale. I saw it.
I got my first Victory Royale. Yeah, I did it. I finished all the ego challenges for the season as well. Those are basically, they're kind of neat because you have this list of challenges. It's usually like 10 challenges, and then in each category, and they're all over the place. They're not like this one's duos and this one's shotgun related. They're just mixed up. When you complete, it's like 8 or 9 of them, they give you a new loading screen and it says, hey, go find the hidden letter in the world that is in this loading screen. And you can look and it's like, okay, cool. I sort of know where this barn is, has the letter T in it. I'll find it eventually and then I can collect it. As you do that, you get alternate versions of skins you've unlocked in the battle pass. So like you'll go find those things, you'll go do those things, and it'll say, okay, equip this skin, go do this thing, and you'll get the alternate version of that skin. So I've done all that stuff, and I liked a lot of that stuff because it's like, okay, go to this place you never go to and just spray paint something on the wall, and then you'll get this alternate costume that you've been working for a while. So I liked it a lot. The new season of Destiny 2 comes up this week, so my Fortnite time will hopefully decrease. I'm not gonna make that promise because we don't know what's coming up in the new season for Destiny 2 yet, really. I do have to say, as much as I liked the slime guy that I really wanted to unlock, my kid loves him way more. She calls him Water Guy, and all she wants to do is see him dance. So apparently,
does he jiggle
both of
when
us
he dances?
A little bit, yeah. He's like a little droopy too.
Does he do the truffle shuffle?
I don't have that emote. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the game.
I wouldn't either, so.
Yeah, but yeah, having a lot of fun with Fortnite. I'm at the point now where I'm just like logging in the morning, playing a match, and then just kind of going about my day.
Oh, it's your games as a service game. We all have them, folks.
Totally is. Yeah. Now I have 2.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
Yeah, heaven help me. I did I mentioned earlier, I bought a whole bunch of stuff on Black Friday. One of them was Target had a crazy deal on Indivisible, a game that launched at $40 and was $15. So scooped that right up and started that. I don't think I fully understood what this game is and how much it's 100% made for me. Yeah. So if people haven't seen this, this is Lab Zero Games, the company that made Skullgirls, that fighting game. Mm-hmm. They have decided to make essentially a sequel to Valkyrie Profile, the hugely lauded PS1 game, PS1 JRPG that I absolutely adore. They've also sort of combined that with platforming / Metroidvania when you're not fighting.
And how do you feel about Metroidvania games again, please, Boston?
I sort of like them a whole bunch.
Hollow Knight, Symphony of the Night.
God, Hollow Knight is so good. Oh, Hollow Knight. I cannot wait for whatever Silk Song, whatever the new one is. Who cares what it's called? I'm going to be buying it. I've only played probably about 2 hours of this game. It seems really cool. I like the combination of the two. The game looks incredible. Voice acting is fantastic. Someone should go watch the trailer for that game, because whatever studio they had do like the anime intro in the game is beautiful. All of it seems like it's 100% my wheelhouse. I wish I had played this earlier in the year so it could get my top 10 list, but maybe it'll be best game of last year next year.
You have a week, dude.
God, no, I don't. I have a week to finish Outer Wilds. That's what I have a week to finish.
Oh, God.
Sorry. Put that back on the list. But I didn't play too much of that game, so I just sort of got the overall gist of it. I'm excited to dive into that over the holiday break when we're off. That's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break. Let's talk releases for the week of December 9th, 2019. Dragon Quest Builders 2 comes out on PC. Everyone seems to really love this game, and if you have wanted to try it, the Jumbo demo is out now, I believe, on all platforms. Apparently, it just gives you a whole bunch of the first couple of hours of the game, and then your save carries over to the final game. So, if you ever wanted to try it, now seems to be the best time.
The way demos should be.
That's right. MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries finally comes out on PC. The first MechWarrior game in 12 years, as long as this show has been going on. So they're probably not a game I'm going to play, but one of those I always respect from a distance. Where it's like, yeah, that game looks super cool, and I do not have the patience to play that super cool looking, incredible game. So good on you if you are. Shovel Knight King of Cards comes out on everything, and when I mean everything, that includes the 3DS and Vita and PS3 and a whole bunch of stuff. Some platforms have gotten some delays, so you might want to go check their Twitter account for... I think they're going to be very happy to get this game out and get it out from under them, because it's got delayed by about 3 years. And I bet they're done with Shovel Knight at this point. So I'm very excited about King of Cards, and I'm also very happy for Yacht Club Studios, I believe is their name, for them to finally move on to something else. And last, but certainly not least, the game I keep forgetting the name of, Black Sad Under the Skin, comes out PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. This is that noir detective Dark Horse comic book adventure game that stars that cat as the main character. It looks like a Telltale Batman game, except it's just a cat in the main character. So that's finally coming out this week. I am super excited to put that on my wish list and play it sometime next year.
Yep.
Let's blow through some of these news stories here. Mario Maker 2 gets a huge new update, which normally wouldn't be that exciting, except in the trailer they show Mario picking up Master Sword and turning into Link, which they had in the first one where it's like you put the amiibo down, now he's Cat Mario. Except now Link has like all of his moves that he would normally have, including being able to fire bows and arrows and block with a shield and all that stuff. So
wait for the level designers to get real insane again.
Yeah, and I think combining that, I hope they do this with more stuff that they own, because I'd almost like this to be sort of like how Smash is, where it's like, all right, Samus is coming in and she's got all her moves, and like you know, Olimar is coming in, he's got a bunch of Pikmin he can do stuff with. Like that, I would like to see them continue to expand Mario Maker 2 now that it seems like it's in a fairly stable point. Let's get crazy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that crazy though. There's plenty of crazy levels already.
That's true. Yeah, let's
Could you imagine the Screwjob trick shots if they gave Link the hook shot?
Oh God! just uninstall it on my Switch.
Wait for those weird Mario modders to get their hands on it. The ones who like mod Super Mario World to have the insane levels.
Yeah. Oh man. Bummer piece of news / confirmation here. Campo Santo's Valley of the Gods has officially been put on hold. Sort of not the best kept secret here. The developers seem to be happy to work on other stuff at Valve, but maybe not at the cost of Valley of the Gods.
To me, dude, these quotes just sound a bit like they've been drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit too much, and maybe they're just speaking the corporate lines.
So Campo Santo co-founder Jake Rodkin says, quote, "You hear a lot about how at Valve you can work on what you want. It turns out that's true. There's a lot of work available. As we integrated ourselves into Valve, it became clear there was a lot of valuable work to be done on Half-Life Alyx. They're also working on Dota Underlords. Some of us starting lending a hand and have some since become full-time on the project as it approaches launch," end quote. He also says, in the end, Valve time makes fools of us all. So I understand from Valve's standpoint and from Campo Santo employees' standpoint, you look at something like Half-Life Alyx and you want to lend your narrative expertise to a Half-Life game because Firewatch narratively was so good. Like you want to take that expertise and apply it to Valve's next big game, especially a brand new Half-Life game.
Minus one of the head writers who didn't actually get a job at Valve and instead was just writing as a contractor for Valley of the Gods and now is no longer writing as a contractor.
That was a real bummer. Yeah, that sucks. I just wish that Valve was better at making games and managing their staff so that Campo Santo could hire more people under them to continue working on all these projects, but it just doesn't seem like that's something that Valve is interested in. And it's unfortunate that to get a new Half-Life game, we sort of have to sacrifice this really cool, unique game over here by these developers that said yes to joining to Valve, which I don't blame them for. Like, why not work at Valve for a little bit? But it's a bummer that they're saying, oh no, it's just on hold. I think we all know what that means, though.
Yeah,
and it's a bigger bummer because it's a Half-Life game that no Half-Life fan has asked for.
Right. In the new Half-Life game, but it's VR only.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a new Nintendo. Here's a new Mario Kart. It's on mobile. It's like, okay.
I mean, if they wanted to really put themselves completely in the crosshairs for all of these people to prove their worth, they've done it.
Yeah.
Like, you've got the biggest task ahead of you. You have a Half-Life game, and it's on a platform that people, generally speaking, don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
Or don't own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Next news story here. Sony confirms they're not interested in being in the handheld market.
Well, duh.
Next story.
Yeah, like, I wrote, like, obviously we've known this for a while. It is nice to sort of, like, have someone at Sony just put the final nail in the coffin and say, like, yeah, man, we're done with this. CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Jim Ryan, says, quote, PlayStation Vita was brilliant in many ways, and the actual gaming experience was great, but clearly it's a business that we're no longer in now.
It's a shame you guys didn't support it more.
It's a shame you had proprietary memory cards.
Mm-hmm. And it's a shame that the PlayStation 5 is going to be docked and then undocked, and you can take it with you.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of the next generation of consoles, big rumor coming out of Microsoft. Unsurprisingly, Jason Schreier over Kotaku broke this story. Microsoft a long time ago was talking about when the rumors around Scarlet were starting that there were two versions. There was the sort of X version and then the diskless version of Scarlet, sort of like how we have the all digital S. Is that what they're still calling it?
I think so.
Sure.
Bad name.
Whatever. Let's just call it the Xbox DS.
There you go. The 2DS. So apparently this diskless version of Scarlet is still in the running, codenamed Lockhart. And apparently people at Microsoft have been briefed on the plans for Scarlet. And this is, you have your one higher powered console, codenamed Anaconda. And apparently that's Scarlet. That's Scarlet. Hiss. They've been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous. And that's going to be like your lead early adopter enthusiast.
That's going to be the most powerful console on the market.
That's right. The most innovative shooter. And then the lower and the lower end one, that's Lockhart. They're sort of comparing it to the Xbox X, which is obviously their more powerful console, and then the S, which is a cheaper, less powerful console that has a couple of $100 between the two. The people who've been briefed say that Anaconda, the X equivalent, they're shooting for 4K 60 frames per second. Lockhart, the S equivalent, is shooting for 1440p at 60 frames.
Break this down for me in English, please. How many Ks is 1440?
It's a little better than 1080. Let's call it 2K, like okay. 1080p is. 4K is what, 2160?
I don't know, dude. I don't do numbers.
I am telling you, 4K is 2160.
Okay. So it's
2K is 10.
It's probably going to be 2K upscaled.
Yeah, basically. And it sounds like they're just planning another 2-gen. Like, you don't care about 4K, you don't care about, like, let's assume it has, like, whatever brand new HDR comes out, G-Sync and all that stuff, that'll be on Anaconda. But if you don't care about that stuff, or if you can't afford $1,700 for the brand new Microsoft console, you've got Lockhart, and that'll be your X versus S option.
The unfortunate thing for me here is, as a fan of the Harry Potter books, Lockhart is the liar.
Gilderoy Lockhart?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I can't get that out of my head.
Yeah. The last point here that he has been made aware of is that Lockhart will be heavily marketed both with xCloud and Game Pass. Sort of obviously there, but I think the thing that's the most surprising to me is that Microsoft would want to enter the next generation with 2 SKUs, and want to take on that marketing job of maybe they got it down with the X versus the X as much as the two phonetically sound similar. Maybe they figure out the marketing where it's like, you care about video games a lot. here you go. If you just want to play the brand new Game Pass stuff, here you go. Here's the other one.
Yeah.
So, E3 is going to be crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to see whatever Sony's going to do, like sneaking in the back, like holding up a PS5 on Bethesda's stage. Like, hey, don't forget about us. PS5's coming. Here we go.
Give me the
$1,700. Yeah. That's all of our news stories this week. It's super late. We've been doing this all day. We're going to save all of your fantastic questions and scooch them over to next week, where we're out of year to scooch past that, so we'll answer them next week. Don't hold me to that, but we will try. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. TVGP.tv. Everyone follow us on the right-hand side of the page. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Gonna be some really good Outcast stuff this week because some stuff happened.
And
you will hear us at our most tired.
Crunchy as hell.
Yeah. A brand new Old Dog New Flicks coming out at the end of this month. Third Saturday of this month will be a very special Game Club episode. Yeah. You should tune in for that because that is
real good.
That was more fun than I was expecting that to be. I think buy our merchandise. We know is a really dumb and great shirt. Parchment is the recommended color. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Can we all agree there's only one title this week?
I don't know.
Budget
What's
Whale.
the title? Oh, I mean, it's on
has
my
to be
list.
Budget Whale.
We're still gonna have to go through them just for.
We do, but like, come on. Nip, hit me with your titles.
All right, I have Dr. Moonpier Marketing Manager, Budget Whale, Moonpier Destroyer of Games. We have a name for that. Dolphin. You don't know because I don't know. How many human dollars? Some pew pew pewing. Level 2 snowy legs. My PP or my BB. God.
Where's my BB?
Yeah. Kerchunk. But I really like Death Stranding. 2019, I don't know. I finished a lot cooler. And Pow Pow.
It's a lot more titles than I wrote down. Moon, how about you?
Budget Whale, The Destroyer of Games, Finish the Fight, Was It a Carmine, Gimme an Ending, A Twist of Bonkers, 20 Likes, Swing, I Don't Know, and Take It Back to Sanity.
I have Budget Whale, Moon, the Destroyer of Games, One Key, One Blueprint. Just like how that... I think that's fun to say. Dr. Moonpier, Marketing Manager, How Many Human Dollars, and Level 2 Snowy Legs.
We thinking
my choice is obviously Budget Whale.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
It's one of those titles where it's like, I don't know what they're talking about, and I'm interested to see where this is going to come up. Okay, let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Yep.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 633 for December 9th, 2019. Budget Whale.
Not a dolphin. I was going to do that, but I figured I didn't want to.
There you go. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching the live stream. If you're making through this on YouTube, this is probably part 2. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this. Thanks, Internet. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
And we can stop recording.